Tag your photo media.
Merry Christmas.
Whoa! What? Did you print this?
I did.
Holy
The tips are very pointy, be careful. Hey there everybody, welcome back to another video, this time with Majin Vegeta. I wanted to start this video off a little bit differently, and most people know that when you print, it's better to print between a 30 to 45 degree angle so that the layer lines print properly. But in this case, you can see there was no detail that was carried over to the final print. It actually looked horrible. So I abided by the rules, but when I printed it again, I printed it flat on the bed and used a lot of supports. And this time, you can see all the detail in the back came out perfectly. So just something I learned, that 30 to 45 degrees may not always be the case, and just adjust the print to what works for you. So during the test fitting, I did realize that the arms were not fitting flush with the body. Part of this was due to a deformation in the arm, but also the clothes was kind of cutting into where the arm would fit. So you see the small gaps there on both sides of the body. So one thing that I've learned is that it doesn't really matter. At some point, you're going to be doing some post-processing on your 3D prints, and that's just normal. But either way, I love the way that this model looked, and I couldn't wait to paint it. Now, again, the gaps in the arm were some things that I needed to fix first. So I busted out my handy dandy Dremel, and after a little bit of time grinding down, I was able to get the arm good enough so that it would fit flush with the body. After, it was time for my regular post-processing, which included a lot of sanding by hand and then also with my little rotary tool. So I decided to glue the top and the bottom halves together first. The clothes and everything else should have the gaps hidden, but there was going to be a small gap at the waistline. So I glued everything together to see what it would look like, and I used some resin to bond everything together. In my short time 3D printing, I usually work with Tamiya Putty and the Perfect Plastic Putty. Both of these are great to fill gaps, but in my opinion, the Perfect Plastic Putty actually works a lot better, but that's just my preference. Now, once I got everything filled into the gaps, and using the rubber tool, I used a wet paper towel to kind of smooth it out, and this was the final result. A couple of coats of Prime White Mr. Surfacer 1000 and everything was ready to get airbrushed. So I am still very new to airbrushing acrylic colors, and trying to find the perfect ratio really took a little bit of time. There wasn't any science behind it, just in terms of what looked and felt right inside the cup. I made sure to give everything its primary coat in the same color, and this was the first time I actually wanted to try doing shadows and highlights. So what I ended up doing was getting 3 different skin tone colors so that I can try doing exactly that, and you can see it right here. Now, I don't think it was the worst, but not the best either, but I'm learning. Afterwards, I applied some Vallejo liquid mask so that I can protect the skin shades from the upcoming shading of the shadows and then the overall blue coloring of the entire outfit. And since I did the skin tone shading, I figured might as well try doing the overall outfit as well, and I was pleased with the way it came out. And after the tedious removal of the Vallejo liquid mask, which I don't know if I'll use again, it was coming along nicely. I printed the Energy Aura in a clear resin to give it a nice effect when light passes through it. This is my first time working with clear, and I quickly learned that you can cure it for too long. The bottom one here, I cured it way too long and it actually ended up burning. Afterwards, I went ahead and hit it with a clear Tamiya yellow, followed by an orange to give it a nice effect. All that was left was to hand paint the final details and wrap up the model. For this model, I decided to go with Loctite Gel instead of the regular Gorilla Glue that I used. The Loctite Gel was actually much easier to work with, and it set faster too. A couple quick coats of UV matte protectant, and the model was ready and finished to go. That's pretty much it for this video. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe and like for more, and feel free to drop me a comment or a message letting me know how I can improve, what you'd like to see, or if you have any suggestions for models to print next. Thanks for watching.